Hey, and welcome to today's episode. Well, today we are launching a brand new, it's not a series, but it will be a bit of a series, but we're going to do these visionary breakthrough sessions more often now. So, what a visionary breakthrough session is I'm going to spend some time, maybe 20, 30 minutes, with one of our HDX members coaching them just like a hot seat in HDX on whatever it is specifically that they want help with this week or at this point. So I am just going to kick it off. So welcome to the podcast, Michele Christensen.
Yay. So glad to be here. Thanks, Emma.
I'm super excited to chat. How long have you been in HDX?
Since I think last November. So almost, like 11 months or so.
Oh my God, I love it. So what's your favorite thing so far?
I really like the deep dives where you nerd all the way out on one little slice of the chart and just go infinitely deep with all the nuances, because I love to follow along with that call and look at everything about, me, but also all the other people. I'm flipping through all the charts of people I care about, clients, friends, family members. I'm like, oh, okay, that explains a lot. So
Oh my God, I love that. So good. So tell us a little bit about what you do, what your business is. Tell us a little bit about that before we focus on what you want some support with.
great. I am a relationship and sex coach. I live in Seattle, but I've had a clientele all over the world since 1997. And I started as a leadership coach. So I worked with lots of executives and business owners. And eventually, almost all of them would say, we've done such good work together. And I know that today we're supposed to talk about my team, or today we're supposed to talk about the reorg, but can we talk about my marriage?
Mm.
They were like amazing people with world-class every aspect of their lives, fitness and their spiritual practice and their leadership. And their marriage was really pretty good, but they wanted it that much better. And so they taught me how you make a pretty good marriage really great. And I found that I loved that even more than I loved coaching them and the kind of holistic spiritual business coaching I'd been doing. So I kind of switched my focus in 2010 or so. And
Oh, I love that.
doing this ever since. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
so cool. It's so funny, isn't it? Because, I started my career in the corporate coaching sector too. And people are so, they have this assumption. I mean, obviously, that when you get an executive coach or a performance coach, you're going to talk all about the work. And like ultimately your relationship with self and then your closest relationship are a mirror of what isn't working everywhere else. So, or what is working everywhere else. So yeah, I think it's hilarious that, when we want to help people with their career success, we always end up looking at their relationship stuff. So yeah, super cool. Love it. So before we dive in, do you want to just intro your design? So just tell everyone your type, your authority, your profile, and your incarnation cross, please.
Yeah. So I'm a 2-4 generator, and I I'm I'm not super great with human design. So I have a right angle cross of contagion 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I have emotional authority, and I also understand to some extent that my authority is further refined by the fact that I have a defined sacral.
Mm-hmm.
So like all of these things influence my knowing, and when I know and what I need to refer to and for how long before I make decisions. So did I
Yeah,
answer questions there?
you did. Awesome. Brilliant. So tell me, what specifically would you like me to focus on today?
I feel like I'm in this pregnant place, about to, finish gestating a next level of willingness to be visible, to
Mm-hmm.
um, really charge what my work is worth, and yeah, to quit apologizing at some.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have been uh, reluctant to make social media content short form. I have a podcast that I love making, and I haven't made an episode in like a year. I've gotten sort of stopped on
Mm-hmm.
content creation. I'm super prolific in ideation. Um, and I've been sort of overwhelmed with, frankly, client work. but also being a mom. And so there's something with like making enough room to do content creation, but also just willingness to say what I really need to say, because I never want to upset or offend anyone. And I'm learning to get over that. But like, right, like, oh, well, then don't open your mouth ever, right? But you know, sex is so provocative, and man woman stuff is so provocative. To say what's really real, to really help one person in a heterosexual relationship feel seen, you almost have to say something that the other one's going to be like, what? And
Yeah.
so I need to be able to do that. And I feel a little fettered in
Mm.
my willingness to say it all, or to deal with what's going to come back to me, what does come back to me when I do it.
So what are you specifically afraid of when you say exactly what you not only want to say, but need to say? What are you afraid is going to happen?
That it will, I mean, first of all, that it'll hurt somebody. I don't want people to feel hurt or harmed. And also, I don't want a lot of blowback or rejection.
It's really interesting, you know, like you say, there's so much in your chart already. You don't want blowback or rejection. Of course you don't. You're a line 4. Line 4s are terrified of rejection. The thing that's really interesting is you say, I don't want to hurt people. What does hurt mean? What does hurt people mean?
And what I have experienced is when I say, you know, I make invitations like about, you might talk about dominance and submission and powerful women wanting to be held, handled,
Yes,
pressed into,
please.
penetrated. Exactly. That's what women always say to me, is like, please just take me by the wrist. I want, you know, I just want somebody to handle me.
Yep.
And then when I talk about that, sometimes people are like, you have to be sensitive to the fact that some people have been through abuse, and being taken by the wrist could, you know, consent. And I don't want to re-traumatize anybody. What I'm talking about is a healthy consensual relationship where somebody asserts himself so that you can put down your make it happen hat just for an hour and be held, be opened. So I need to talk about that. And
Yeah.
I don't want to re-traumatize anybody. And that's not my
Yeah.
point.
And you know what I think is really interesting is like what's really fascinating about everything that you're talking about is you're just speaking your chart for you know straight away you have the 45. It's in your design Saturn. It's the shadow of dominance. So you know, but what the 45 is here to teach us is to move into a powerful leadership, and not powerful as in you do what I'm told when I'm told, from a place of minimizing anyone else or dominating over them. It's actually more about this effortless leadership. This very it's all about, it's the gift of synergy. So if you think about like the 45, which is all about in the shadow dominating. So if I am dominant or being dominated, then someone is in control and someone's in submission. But really, it's about synergy. And what you're talking about, like the way that you're talking about man and woman, in your core talent, which is your design Mars, you have the 37. The 37 is all about the balance of the masculine and the feminine. That in the shadow, it's the shadow of weakness. Weakness is when you submit in an unresourceful way. So you submit your voice, you submit your truth, you literally like suppress yourself. And it's the gift of equality. And then the acidic state is tenderness. And the tenderness piece is all about, it's almost like the divine mother. I think in the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd even wrote that the 37 will mother boys excellently because the balance of the feminine and the masculine in the 37 is really good at raising that balance within others, right? So a lot of what you're talking about is right here in your design. It's your core talent. It's your design Jupiter. So Jupiter will tend towards wealth, money. It's also your culture and your gene keys. Interestingly, you also have, I'm sorry, it's your Saturn. Of course it is. It's not your culture. It's your Saturn on the design side. And what's really interesting about that is that when you're out of alignment with your truth, with your values, then you're going to be hit with the consequences. So a lot of what this is saying is like your core is, I'm here to help people, to serve people, to raise people up. And I'm guessing because you're aligned to profile, you actually have, and you've done it since, did you say 1997? And then pivoting in what, 2010, did you say, into relationships? So this, I would guess that this dynamic that you coach people through when it comes to relationships actually comes quite easily to you. Is that fair to say?
Definitely.
Yeah. So this is your natural talent, and your human design's kind of backing it up, right? But what sounds like it's happening is that your line 4 is in its shadow. So the line 4 is really afraid of rejection. It's also in its shadow. It can be almost like, in Australia, we have this thing called tall poppy syndrome. And the line 4 can worry a little bit about that, because the way a line 4 leads is from within. So we all rise together. So there's this constant battle between, well, yes, I know where I want to take these people, and in this case, it's my clients. However, I don't want to get ahead of them. I don't want to be above them. I want to like bring them with me. Does that feel like it resonates?
It does. And that notion of like tall puppy syndrome, or, you know, shadow of line 4 all my life, like I have definitely attracted those, like, you know, that's right. The danger of being a tall puppy is that you're the one that's standing up and gets beheaded. And I feel like I have attracted that kind of like ill will at times from pretty early in life. And so have some sort of trauma around that. Like, I don't want to get hated on, you know, by girls. Is memory, right, is from when we were girls. Just like, please don't take me out, you know.
Exactly. And I think a lot of us have that, you know, a lot of us have that fear of, because ultimately whatever you're playing out now in your business is actually something that you learned below the age of 7, you know, like it's a conditioned pattern in you. So when you say, you know, you're afraid of the girls or being called out by the girls, what specifically, and use that childhood language, go back there for a moment. What specifically were you afraid of?
A little girl named Melissa bit me on the arm at preschool. And yeah, just being rejected, chased. I'm remembering like being on the playground and mean girls. Yeah.
And what were you afraid that meant about you? The mean girls biting you, chasing you, rejecting you. What?
I wasn't good enough. Yeah, I'm not good enough. They're better than I am. They have something I don't have.
Yeah. And is that true?
I mean, in some ways I am different. I've always been different than kind of a lot of people. Maybe smarter, maybe more woo, maybe weirder. In some ways that I'm wonderful.
Well, I'd like to think that you're just as weird as everyone else in HDX, because I feel like it's just a collective of weird people that all hang out together and realize that actually we're not weird. But so one of the big things that's coming through, a couple of things that you'd really speak into your design, you've got an undefined will center. Okay. So often when we have an undefined will center, we're going to be in this place of having to create a daily habit of self-worth, having to choose the language, having to choose our worthiness. You know, you said at the beginning that you want to charge what I'm worth. So you have to decide. You know, one of the things I say about human design all the time is you have to claim your design, because I don't know about you, but so many people in the human design world, they will tell you all of their shadows. And I'm like, dude, stop it, quit it. Like, I want to slap them on the back of the hand and say, stop telling me all the fear expression of your greatness. It's really, we need to lean into and claim our design. So one of the things for you is that you actually you've got the 26 activated in this undefined will center. And you have 2 hanging gates, the 45 and the 37 that we've already spoken about. They're actually reaching towards your will center. So although the will center is only defined in about 50% of the global population, it potentially might be switched on pretty often. We are also just finishing up until 2027. I believe it's the 15th of February. I could be wrong on that though. 2027, we move into the new paradigm. So you even have this background frequency of the era we're living in, of the 40 playing out. So, you know, although it's undefined for you, there is going to be almost a whisper of this energy there. What I would encourage you to do is, number one, build a daily practice of self-worth. The questions you want to ask yourself is, well, what does that mean to me? When I feel really worthy, and potentially pick a time in the past, what am I thinking? What am I doing? What am I feeling? What am I saying? So really get to know what worth in alignment, because alignment is when we think, feel, act, and speak in the same way. That's what alignment really is. When I'm in alignment with my self-worth, what am I thinking, feeling, saying, doing, right? So that's the first place. I think the other challenge that's potentially playing out for you, and there's a number of other things that are, time permitting, I'll have a look at, but because you use the language of the 45, I want to play with the 45. The 45 for you is on the design side of your chart, and it's in an undefined throat. So what does that mean? I think one of the challenges that you have is that the fear that you've created about saying the wrong thing, potentially it's because you have an undefined throat. Therefore, you can feel what's not being said. So maybe people call you out directly, but then there's also this undercurrent of, oh, I can feel what you want to say, even though you're not saying it. Now, one of the really important things to understand is that your life is a mirror. So as long as you have a fear of saying the wrong thing, then you will find yourself in situations where that happens. So what you want to ask yourself is, okay, well, how specifically am I being triggered, and where do I accuse myself of that? All right? Because ultimately you're the one that's doubting your word. You're the one that is limiting your value. You're the one that is being reluctant to say what you really want to say because of your own self-judgment. Does that feel true?
I doubt my word. I limit my value. I judge myself.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want to say is, number one, you're a line 4 profile. So relationships are your jam. Like, you are absolutely on the planet to do this. Your core talent is one of the relationship gates, the 37. And it's in the line 3, and the line 3 can be pleasure, very much. So again, you're doing what you are, being who you came here to be. You're an emotional generator. So this is obviously energy that lights you up. You have a lot of activations in the sacral. So you have a lot of your own sacral expressions. And you have the 34 in the channel, so the 3457. So this is the most powerful gate in the most intuitively powerful channel in the chart. So the reason why I'm saying all these things is that ultimately it's your choice whether to back yourself or not, to act as if, hey, like, my jam really is relationships. It's written all over my design. You're also, what's interesting is that you're a single definition. So what that also shows me, or what kind of comes to me when I see that, is you don't necessarily need the other to get your energy all to flow really well. So you are pretty energetically self-sustained. All right. So when you are doing the work that you are here to do on the planet, then trust it. There's not a glitch. There's not a gap. There's not, a bridge gate that needs bridging. You got to trust that, because your authority, your solar plexus, is speaking to the root center, to the sacral, and also at the same time to the G center and to the spleen. Okay. Then the last thing I kind of want to focus on is, on your design side, your sun and earth are the 8 and the 14. These are two of the powerhouse, individual, unique expressions, okay? So when you say, hey, I've always been a bit weird, of course you'd feel that way, because you have the 8 in your design sun, or your radiance, and the 8 is the gift of style. It's the gate of contribution. But what you're here to do is to lead the collective through your own contribution of your unique style. And I feel that potentially, because it's on the design side of your chart, what's really going on for you is that you're like, oh my God, this is me. This is true for me. But then you kind of see it act out in real life, and you've got all this conditioning that was created as a child that was like, pull your head in. Like, no, you can't be weird. You can't be unique. But actually, if you want to shine, if you want your physical vehicle and your soul to shine the brightest, then you've got to go deep into the 8, into your own unique style. How does that feel when you hear it?
I've been working with it a lot, and that's always been me, like with my environment and with my dress. And yeah, I've always had like flair and done my own thing and been known for that. And at the same time, yeah, sometimes been apologetic for it, so like I've lived in the gift of that and the genius of it, and like kind of felt bad about it or apologized, or you know what I mean? Like let it shine and been like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I think a lot of women would resonate with that. And one of the things I want to say to you is stop apologizing. Don't ever apologize for being your unique self. Like, you are on the planet. We all are, especially those of us that, if you're an HDX, you're a visionary. The end, that's who we serve, visionaries. And what are visionaries? They're out the front. They are literally visioning a new world. We're all weird. We're all different because we're like, fuck the status quo and bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. Hey, I've got this vision for the planet. I've got the vision for, in your case, for how relationships really could be. So we have to own that. We have to step into it. Like, just accept that you are weird. We're all weird. There's more than 2 billion expressions of a human design chart. Like, so we're really freaking weird, all of us, right? But specifically for you, so much of your design is this balance between self, personal profile, and other, having the 37 in your core talent, tribal, the 45 in your Saturn, tribal. You've got the 27, tribal, the 26, tribal, 19, tribal. So you have this balance between, do I serve myself, personal profile, or do I serve the collective or the tribe? Because you've got a lot of collective circuitry too. And to throw on top of that, you've got the 2-4 profile. So is it about me hiding away, focusing on my my natural talent, or is it about me going out and sharing this with my community, the line 4? And what I want to say is it's both. For you, it's both. It's a pendulum. It's a polarity. It's you will always swing between the two. And I kind of want to round out. We're going to come to your 14. Okay. So it's in your design earth. And at the beginning, you said you're in this pregnant pause. You want to focus on what you charge. The 14 is one of the money gates. The 45 is one of the money gates. But the 14 specifically, you will magnetize resources to you, your team, and your family when you are being uniquely you. In human design, we call it the gate of power skills. So what are your unique power skills? And I would go as far to say, given that you've done what you do for a very long time and what we've already discussed, is that helping coach relationships is part of that power skill, right? So one of the things I'd say to you is I would guess that what's happening is that you're driving around in your Ferrari with the handbrake on, because every time you take the handbrake off and you say, hey, well, this woman who's had a great deal of success in career and providing and protecting for herself and her family, hello, that is me. You know that she's a woman that wants to be with a man that in a resourceful way, he takes the lead. He potentially, again, don't love this word, like takes control, like what, that is the piece, right? So every time you step off that accelerator, you slam on that handbrake. Now, what I would highly encourage you to do is set the intention. How can I, or show me how to language this, and word that in whatever your own way. And you've got Maggie because you're an HDX, so you can get Maggie to help you with this. In fact, we'll give you the transcript of this so that you can throw it into Maggie and then ask her a bunch of questions. Because ultimately, you have to actually stop apologizing for your line 2 genius. You have to stop apologizing for everyone else's projections and actually know, hang on a second, I come from the heart, I come from love, I come from purity. I'm not here to re-traumatize people. What I am here to do is to stop compromising, which is the shadow of the 14. So you compromise yourself, your talents, line 2, gate 14, even your 8, you're compromising these things for others. But your intention was never to re-traumatize anyone. It doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from talent. It comes from knowing. You have the 3457. This is a powerful, intuitive knowing. So this is where, again, I'd really highly encourage you to claim your design, start asking better questions, put boundaries in place, and stop apologizing for being weird and really talented at helping relationships. How does all that land for you? That's a lot. Is there anything specific you want to respond to?
It's fantastic. Yeah, it feels really big and beautiful, but also really quiet and soft, like water the same temperature as my skin, just like, yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's true. And I'm here to stop compromising. The other shadows that the half-heartedness,
mm-hmm.
The like, I'll try to, and mediocrity. I'll try to fit in because my style might be too much for somebody.
Yeah.
So I'll bland it down a little bit. I don't need to do that. And then people aren't served by that, right? There's so many
exactly
to hear, like, oh, sweetie, we can actually, I can help you show up in a way that you can get held by someone as skillful as you are, but who will take charge and actually be a worthwhile leader for you to fall into following, just for a time, right? Just for the next hour. And then you go back to being you and in charge. And then you get to drop into there again to get the replenishment of being in that submissive space by choice. So yeah, I have so much to offer, and I can't offer it if I'm milk toasting it.
Exactly.
So my question, of course, I'll talk to Maggie a lot about this, but to you, and you said, like, I'm your girl. So what kind of content do you want from me? Looking at my chart.
But not even, I don't need to look at your chart. It's what I want from everyone. I want the truth. I want authenticity. Okay. I am someone who, one of my girlfriends and I were constantly sending reels back and forward about real men. Like, I'd rather be on my own than with a man that's not in his masculine. I'm a woman who has, I said for years that I kept asking for the husband that I wanted. I never got it, so I became the husband I needed. And at the end of the day, like, I'm a freaking powerhouse. Your clients are powerhouses. I'm never going to tell you that's bullshit. But your own critics, like people that don't even matter to your business, you're listening to them. Like, don't listen to them. They're not the expert. You're the expert. You know women like me. You know what women like me. Like, I lead in every fucking room I walk in. Every room.
All day.
All day. So I absolutely, exactly. And, every single time I found myself going, oh God, I'd love a man for X, Y, Z. I'm like, okay, well, I better become that. So it's not an unresourceful attraction of that, So I'm whole. I'm this, like, I want a man because I want a running buddy. I want someone that I can witness their life for them and they can witness my life for me. And 100%, I want someone that I can just be my playful, feminine, fully embodied, not have to take care of anything. Lead me, So this is the thing I would say to you and to anyone listening. We have to not listen to the people that aren't our clients, like, who cares what Sally down the road thinks? Like, and it's that whole, like, feedback, like, thanks for the feedback, but your intention was never to re-traumatize someone. You've been doing this a long time. It's your natural talent. It's all over your design. People matter to you. The last thing. So let's just presuppose that that's the truth and be done with it. No more proving, undefined will center. No more trying to be heard, undefined throat. Let's just stop it. Let's throw it out and just assume that we're done. I'm coming from the heart. I'm focused on my clients. I'm serving these women because I really know what they need, and move from there. How does that sound?
Done.
I love it. I love a good, clean, sacral done. Beautiful. Is there anything else that's going to make today more complete for you?
So what I'm picturing right now is just taking I love working privately, so many people are like, when you need to scale, and so what I'm leaning toward is just making my service so white glove and just making it really premium so that I can keep working privately, but just have lots of space. So I'll do that. But I also, like you said, my chart says, I care so much. And I want I call it the hot love revolution for everyone. I want
the hot love revolution. Sign me up.
Right? All right. Yeah. Well, you're my girl. But like, I want to make it accessible, like a club, like a membership or something for everybody. And so then I'm like, which direction do I go, or how do I sequence it? Because, 2-4, I don't want to spend all my time facilitating, or like,
So here's the piece, right?
Community.
This is the challenge that we're in right now, is that everyone's trying to be what they think they should be. And we are right on the cusp of a huge transformation. And this is why I love human design. So what you've just told me, and please correct me if I've misheard, what you've just told me is that one-on-one coaching is the thing that lights you up the most. That's the thing you've got the most energy for, correct?
I love one-on-one coaching. I also love speaking.
Yep, great. Okay, so add speaking to the list.
But I don't love like facilitate, what's it called? Moderating like a community.
Great, awesome. So we are at the edge now, okay? So everyone who's listening, if you have an online business and you sell courses, good luck with that, because everything's about to change, and it's already changing. And I saw it last year. I started talking about this, is that online courses are about to die a huge death. And the reason why is because we now have AI. We don't need knowledge. We've got knowledge at our fingertips. But what we crave is in-person connection. We crave community. So for me personally, and this is just my opinion, take it or leave it, for you, I would go super high end with the one-on-one clients, because if you're helping these people, high-end one-on-one clients will tend to have extensive reach, and you affect many through working with the few, okay? Then I wouldn't worry about, if you don't like to facilitate or to hold space for community or run, groups or anything like that, just don't do it. What I think would be amazing for you, and again, you can get Maggie to help you do this, and we might even do a class in HDX on this, is I would build yourself a Maggie. I'd go and build yourself a chat bot. They're not agents, they are chat bots, so that's how you reach the many. But I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do any of the other stuff. If you don't have energy for it, don't fucking do it. Like, you will find your wealth and your scalability, but there's no point running an old model that is going to die, is already dying, and it's something that you don't have energy for anyway. So really focus on what you have energy for, and then find, ways to scale. So your own chat bot that is the least amount. Yes, it might take you, I think originally it took us about 2 weeks to build Maggie and refine Maggie and test Maggie. And then we had 2 weeks with a group of people testing it. And that was with my team, and Sherelle and T are just fucking epic. So it might take a little bit longer, but maybe you have an incredible team too. But once it's
we're already making some cool things that do amazing things for you.
So I would just go down that road, like, you've just got to focus on you. You're a personal profile. It's about you. You're a generator. So whatever lights you up, it's about you. And it's always, whenever we throw in the emotional solar plexus, like, just take your time. Don't run at it. But at the end of the day, don't chase after anything you don't have energy for.
Okay. And emotional solar plexus, take your time. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Well,
Like I know what lights me up and what doesn't, but I get super annoyed that things take longer than I want them to, and I run out of interest in it before it's done.
yeah. So here's the thing. Do you run out of interest or are you trying to force it? You have the gate 34, which is the shadow of force. The thing about being an emotional authority is the solar plexus is an awareness center. An awareness center is really, the solar plexus is all about timing. So because you have a defined sacral, so yes, no, in the moment, yes, I have energy for this, no, I don't. If you're deciding what to have for dinner or should you go with this outfit or that outfit? Your sacral's great. It's fantastic. Yep, I've got energy for this. No, I don't. But if you take the big decisions and you let your sacral decide, the challenge is going to be that you'll go too early or too late. Or well, you'll go too early. Because what the solar plexus is doing is saying, okay, well, A, we're looking for neutrality. So does this feel like a neutral yes or no that I want to pursue something? But the solar plexus is also about divine timing. Like I've sat on stuff that my solar plexus has felt murky about in fact, there's a big decision that we've just made that because you're in HDX, you'll hear about it early next year. It's been in my awareness for 18 months. And then last week I just sent, it was like, oh, it's go time. So you have to trust it because the solar plexus is an awareness center, meaning it has a lot more depth. It's very much about timing. So just trust it. And if you feel like you don't have energy for it, like if you're afraid, oh my God, the energy's disappeared, shit, it's gone. I wouldn't never think it's gone. Just think it's not now. Because it could come around again and then you get your green light from emotional neutrality and boom, all of a sudden you have all the energy for it. Make sense?
That helps a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, Michele, thank you so much. Thanks so much for being the first cab off the rank, as it were, in our visionary breakthrough sessions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Emma. Blessings.
Thank you. And for all of you listening, I trust you got what you needed from today's episode. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to having you on the next one. Bye for now.